Hey, gentlemen, welcome to another show. We're going to be checking out prices today to see how far prices have fallen in other places in Canada, in the United States. I am open for business for you. Whatever you need, I want you to let me know. We're going to be answering questions today to try to figure out where on earth are we in this crazy real estate bubble that we're in. Some people are calling it, but we got to figure out just how bad are things. So we're going to be taking a look at some properties in Toronto. We want to make sure that these are making sense for everybody. Now, if we look in Toronto, for example, where we are today, prices have been falling. The average right now is at $1,050,000, so it has gone down quite a bit. So this is a big difference from where we were just not long ago. What do you guys think? I think that this is called a dead cat bounce. Actually, I just spilled my water here, guys. Sorry about that. So I think that this is a dead cat bounce myself. I think that there's going to be some mega problems coming up. So I want you guys to tell me where you want me to look and give me your postal codes or cities that you're in. I would love to hear from you and love to give you some information. So where we are in Toronto today, we have this massive spike in prices from 980,000 up to $1,050,000. Prices have changed an absolute lot. And I think that this is going to make people really excited. Now, the reason why these prices have come down so much is if we go and take a look at where we are on the whole stream of time here, the government bonds have really taken a pounding. Now, although this is the Canada 5-year bond, we can also take a look at the US 5-year bond. It doesn't really matter where we're going to go, but the treasuries or the bonds, we're going to see the exact same thing, that there's actually floating up and down. So what happens is you want to be buying a home when it's high and you want to be selling when it's low. So if we take a look at Canada and we want to look at where Canada has been the past year, look at this, up and down. Now, what this is going to be doing, these peak to troughs, is moving home prices by 10%, which is crazy. 10% is unbelievable. So, hey, Sam, how are you? Thanks very much for coming by. Really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions, please put it in the comment section and I'll get to it as fast as I can. So this is where we're going to be at today. Okay, this is where we're at today, is that the bond rates are falling. So I have a question today about where is Ottawa. So let's take a look at Ottawa just so that you guys could have a better understanding of where property prices are today. So if we take Ottawa, for example, let's take out Brantford. We're only going to look at Ottawa region and just Ottawa. Let's see. Let's try and pull that up for you. Benchmark. Ottawa prices. So Ottawa is it's basically a weird outlier. It does not kind of exist anywhere else in Canada. The market is very unique. So this is going out to Darcy in Ottawa. So this is where prices are. So you could see in 2019, the average home price was 414,000. Look at where it went to. 724 in April of 2022. So prices went absolutely ridiculously high. Does not even make sense at the price that it was at. It's crazy. Okay, but where is it today? As you can see, prices dropped as low as $603,000, and then it just peaked up a little bit to 622. And all of a sudden, this is what everybody is talking about, is take a look at what happened with the prices, that they've went up. Really, guys? Take a look at where they're actually pointing. This tiny little peak here at the very end is what everyone's excited about. So like everywhere else in the world, when they printed a lot of money, home prices went crazy up and then they've crashed down because of the mortgage rates. So this is the same everywhere. But to put this into context, we could pick a big city like Toronto and just to see how does it actually apply. If you can see prices remained, you could see about a quarter-inch distance all the way to 2014. It remained even, but then there was a massive push for homes again leading up to 2017, which was a government push here, you know, the foreign ban. prices went crazy. And remember, I always say the bigger they are, the harder they fall. Toronto went way up and down, but you can see the exact same pattern here. But they're both coming up a little bit, and that's because Silicon Valley Bank actually fell. So because Silicon Valley Bank actually went down in price, their stocks, banks are scared now, and now they are deciding that they don't want anything to do with mortgages. They're lowering those rates, and it's saving people a ton of money, which we're very, very, very excited about. So in Toronto, where we are, if we're taking a look at Toronto, home prices have rebounded here. And if you guys are interested, go to my YouTube channel at Rough Team Realty. Just check out, I did number one, a video on how Silicon Valley Bank is giving $50,000 to every single person who is selling their home. This is the ideal time to sell your home. If you're thinking of selling your home, you can always go to sellhigher.ca. And this is where you can sell your home for more money, faster, and less hassle. But this is very, very, very important, where you're seeing the patterns for these real estate drops. So right now we see this boom in prices, but is it just prices? Well, because we know there's hardly any units on the market right now. But what we're seeing is home prices are selling much, much faster, 20 days instead of 30. Just think of what that difference must be. It's huge. In addition to that, we're seeing the prices you saw go up, and now we're seeing all the funny games now again, that people are overpaying for their properties. Now, this doesn't really matter where we go, because it doesn't matter if we. So we have a Canadian map up here. If I pick Vancouver, and I maybe pick, where else do you want me to pick? Vancouver Island, maybe. If we do it, it's all going to have these similar patterns. As the government prints money, all the properties are going up. As the government raises interest rates, all of the cities are dropping. Montreal, Toronto, Vancouver, Vancouver Island, they're all going to be dropping. And that's because of interest rates. So understanding how interest rates are going to affect you is going to change everything and change your investment career. Thank you guys for the questions. Please let me know if you have more questions. Sam, how are you, buddy? Good to see you. Thank you very much for coming on. Do you think interest rates will come down, Mohammed? Absolutely, they're going to come down. 1,000% they're going to come down. But they're going to come down when you least expect it. They're going to come down when property prices are in a lot of trouble, when the economy is in trouble. Think of what happened, what brought down those interest rates before. That's my question to you, is what brought them down was 2001, what happened in New York, and we know what happened in 2007-8, the GFC, what happened in 2020. They're going to put the rates to zero. So this is going to continue, guys. There's nothing special about this. It has to continue. Okay, so if we're going to continue on, I got it. Somebody wants me to look up one specific area. I love it. So let's take a look at this. We're going to look up L9T as an example, L9T, and they're being really, really good. 4-bedroom plus 2 detached, 2,700 square feet. So the best way I would, definitely we would look for detached. You can see there's been 540 properties that have sold in L9T that are detached properties. And I would put 4-bedroom for sure in your case, but I wouldn't put the square footage, because most realtors are not putting it in all the time. But this is what I would be looking for. L9T in detached 4 bedrooms, 14% down the past 12 months, but that doesn't give us the full picture of peak to trough. So let's go back a little bit more to know when we started raising those interest rates. When the war started, properties were peaking at 1.7 million. Currently, they're selling for 1,360,000. So overall, it's down 20% in the past 2 years. That's the 2 calendar years, right? 2022 and 2023. But from peak to trough, it's a bit more. It was almost 1.8 down to 1.3. So this is fairly standard right now. We're seeing around 25% drop peak to trough, depending where you are, obviously. Darren Hines, yeah, just give me your postal code, Darren, and the type of home, detached or whatever, and we'd be happy to try and get you an idea of what you're looking for. So somebody has a question about Windsor. Windsor is very, very, very similar. Like we look at Windsor very, very often. We have investors that buy in Windsor. Um, so let's take a look at where Windsor is. So can you see Windsor here is this brown line at the very bottom? Obviously, it's much cheaper than Ottawa, cheaper than Montreal and Vancouver, Toronto and Vancouver. But this brown line at the bottom is where it is. But can you see how it has maintained its distance from Ottawa the entire way? So this is the brown line is Windsor, and the red line is orange line is Ottawa. So they actually touched over here, which shows you how bad the Windsor pricing was. And a lot of people consider it a satellite city of Toronto. I do not. But you could see that massive spike in prices. So just since they had all of the problems that we've had in the past couple of years, you could see prices have gone from, let's pull that up. Where did it go? 484. Is that right? No, 390. Let's say 390, and it peaked at 674. So what is that, you guys? 390. That's up 50%, more than 50%. So that just tells you, right, that if a property is going up 50, 60%, it has to recalibrate itself. So Windsor right now is completely out of control. We're not going to even think about investing in a place like Windsor. It just doesn't make any sense. All right, you guys. So if you have any questions, please let them put them here. You guys on YouTube, if you want to put down any questions, please do so. Where do you think interest rates would be next year? Well, they're probably going to have an economic heart attack in the United States. And if they do have an economic heart attack, which I wholeheartedly think that they will, we're going to have those interest rates come plummeting down. Sam, yeah, good to see you, buddy. Thank you. L8T Addy, you're looking for L8T like Tango. Let's pull yours up and see where you're sitting these days. L8T. L8 Tango. Let's pull yours up. This is for Addy. He wants to know what's happening there. In L8T, we're seeing prices were at 978, 989 last year, currently selling for 710. So they're down around 27% overall. What happens to those who have bought properties and they have closings that are coming up? Woo! Well, they're in a lot of trouble. Those people who have bought properties and have closings coming up, but they're I guess their price has not been adjusted down. Yeah, they're in a lot of trouble. There's no way for them to get out of it. Where are we based out of? We're based out of Toronto, Ontario. Toronto, Ontario. Yep. So if you guys are selling your property, which is what we specialize in, obviously you can go to sellhigher.ca. That's one of our companies. Sellhigher.ca is where we specialize in selling properties in Toronto for more money, less hassle. Where am I based out of? Yep. Isn't what it appraised at. Isn't what? Yeah, you're right, Mohammed. So there are a lot of properties that are out there that are not appraising for the correct value, right? People are in a lot of trouble these days when it comes to the values of properties because what they're being evaluated at is completely different. So let's continue on then. I thank you them. There isn't a difference for overcoming the shortfall, right? They're just in big trouble. Boston Ma, you're looking for in Toronto. This is my Toronto portal here. But if we were looking in Greater Vancouver, this is the Greater Vancouver numbers. We could see that there obviously when they had the foreign bans coming on in 2017, this is the anomaly that you see in 2020. When we started printing money, the average price was $917. It got way out of control, all the way to 1.26 million, exactly the same as Toronto. And now we're seeing those prices come way down. Now, the average price in Toronto, Vancouver hasn't changed that much, still 1.1, but it is curling upwards. And again, the reason why it's curling upwards is because the bonds are dropping. And the bonds are dropping because banks are collapsing left, right, and center now. First Republic is it should be bankrupt by tomorrow. I think they're trying to get the final bids in before the government's open tomorrow. So this is the mainstay behind that. Mohammed, yeah, this is a private website. Unfortunately, the public is not cannot get this. Can you do a check of that postal code? So Boston Ma, unfortunately, I don't have V's. I have the L's and the M's in this portal right here. Danny is looking for Bowmanville. So let's take a look at Bowmanville. I don't know if I have Bowmanville. Let me take a look, okay? Let's do something here. This is a good question, though. Let me try and pull up Bowmanville. Not sure if I have enough. I don't think I've done enough business in Bowmanville. I didn't. Sorry. Sorry, Danny. I don't have enough for Bowmanville. Bowmanville is definitely a satellite city of Toronto, so we know how that operates too, right? Excessive increase in price, excessive. So there's a larger correction that's going to happen because of that. L9J. We sell properties all over Ontario. That's what we do. And we help people all over the place do that type of stuff. But oh, this is interesting. In L9J, this is for no name. So if you look at this, the prices started at 785,000. But if you look, there was a big drop, but a couple big homes must have sold last fall to bring that total up. But I'm not really surprised that the prices have rebounded. But check that out, from $556,000. And as those mortgage rates have fallen, bang, home prices have gone crazy, $150,000 up. Unbelievable. If you would have asked me about L9J previously, I would have told you that this should have been up around $80,000. So there must have been a couple big, big, big expensive homes that sold to skew the averages in reality. So, what types of properties are there? So I don't know if you are in a detached or whatever, but you see there's 71 condos. There's only 22 detached. So it really depends what type of property that you were actually in, which one that we're dealing with. But good questions. And you guys on YouTube, if you want to ask me some questions too, you can fire away. M1K is the next one you want. Let's try and pull up that one. Mother 1 Kilo. M1K. See how this goes. Down 29%. Down 29% in the past 2 calendar years. So this is since the beginning of 2022. So the beginning of 2022, prices were 1.1 million and currently selling for $769,000. So those prices have fallen a lot, and that's 30% on this time frame, but it would be even more if you were measuring peak to trough. So not surprised about the slide that has happened. I am surprised, though, there has been more of a bump in this calendar year. Here again, these are averages, though. It's showing us all properties, condos and detached properties. If you were thinking of jumping on and you want more information, you can always send me a direct message and I can see what I can do for you. Yeah, I mean, you just have to write it once and I'm going to get to you. I'm doing this live. It's not it's not a I'm going to get to everybody in farmland, but we can it's farmland, but it can be subdivided. Well, if you can get farmland and subdivided, that's amazing. That's great. Did you see Toronto detached prices coming down again in Toronto? No, Addie, they're not really. It really depends on the section, obviously, that you're looking at. But overall, if we're going to look at condos or detached by far in the past, they have more detached homes than there is condos. If you notice, in the past 12 months, we've sold 40,000 different home units and only 19,000 condo units. So if you look at the value of homes, $52 billion worth of home detached properties. And when it comes to condos, only 13 billion. So massive, massive, massive difference between those two. But let's take a look at just the detached properties and see what you got there. Freddie, how are you, buddy? Thank you very much. Hope that you're doing very good. Thank you very much for coming on from YouTube. Let me know if you have any questions. I'd be happy to help you as well. So, if you're looking at just detached properties in Toronto, they peaked out at 1.6 million back in the day, just over a year ago when interest rates fell. And this is very, very, very predictable. As you can see up here, negative 17%. But that only starts off at the beginning at 1.5. If you're measuring from 1.6, it's going to be a lot more. It's generally down 25% to date, and we're expecting another 10 to 15% drop this year. So these prices at 1.6 right now, it came down very, very predictably, and there's been a big bounce this year, huge jump. Look at that, $110,000 jump this year, and this is all because of mortgage rates have been falling. So because those mortgage rates have been falling, this is helping everybody make a lot more money, right? If they're thinking about selling their property. So the goal here is you buy a house when it's very, very high mortgage rates, and you want to sell a house when it's very low. And so ever since those Silicon Valley Bank, Signature Bank, First Republic, all these troubles, the rates have been very, very low. So that's fantastic. Freddie, yeah, the market is treating me very well. So thank you very much for being here. We appreciate it. Let me know if there's anything I can help you with for any of the properties in Toronto, or if you want me to look at any of the properties anywhere where you are. So the Canadian real estate market it's very, very, very common. I look at charts all day, every day, and you could see patterns, and we know where we're going to go next. And so remember, the biggest markets, usually over 1 million people, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. So the bigger the gain and the bigger the loss. This is playing high stakes poker. Whereas a lot of these smaller cities, it's kind of more boring, right? There isn't as many peaks and troughs. You want me to check it at Etobicoke? I could do that. How long have I been an agent? I'm not an agent, actually. I'm a mortgage broker. So a broker just has more licenses, more insurances. I've been in real estate now for 15 years, but in different types. I was in mortgages. We were actually building properties, cutting down trees, building up properties, buying and flipping properties. We wholesaled properties, and I invest in a lot of real estate. Can you look in Southern Etobicoke? So we're going to be pulling up Southern Etobicoke for you. Here's a lot of different cities. Maybe you can help me. Maybe you can help me, actually. Southern Etobicoke, Addie, give me the postal code, and it'll help me so that I don't have to keep everybody waiting. Fair enough. Nice. Okay, so if you give me the postal code, I'll do that for you. Waffle, can you share address so I can do Google Maps? If you'd like to reach me, what we do is we help sell properties. You can go to sellhigher.ca, sellhigher.ca, where we sell your home for more money, faster, and less hassle. It's a free consultation. You choose your commission if you're thinking of selling. Mohammed, you're giving me a legal description of a property. I can do that, but if you're thinking of selling your property, I would reach out to me directly. You can email me at contact@roughteamrealty.com. Contact@roughteamrealty.com. You want to know what Windsor is looking like? Windsor is right here in this brown line at the bottom. This is Ottawa here, Toronto, and Vancouver. So if you follow this brown line, you could see where the prices have gone, and prices in Windsor have been dropping. So the average price in Windsor was $668, $684 last year, and now it's sitting at $556 is the average for a price of a home in Windsor. This is for Punjabi finance. What is the current interest rate? And I hear that banks are giving discount on interest rates by 1% even. And they are, yes, for sure. They are giving rates, and that is all down to the government bonds. Bonds are falling at quite an alarming rate. So you would have seen that exactly what he's saying. At one time, just in March, they were charging 3.6 and then it dropped all the way down to 2.7, almost a 1% drop, which means home prices would drop 10% because of that. Um, uh, yeah, that's right, Freddie. Yeah, I'm not on Treb right now. So this is the website that I'm showing right now. It's this is a private website. Unfortunately, the public doesn't have access to this. Um, when it's higher as per Bank of Canada. Yeah, so when I'm talking to you about the mortgage rates, I'm showing you this, which is the 5-year bond. So if you're looking at the 5-year bond, this is how much commission that individual banks want to make on top of the rate. So if you want to take a look at what the Bank of Canada rate is, the Bank of Canada rate hasn't changed for 2 quarters. They're even. Remember, when you're going to pay for a mortgage, you have two portions of a mortgage. You have to pay, number one, the amount paid to the country, and then the amount of commission that the individual banks want. But the amount of commission that the individual banks want changes on a day-to-day basis based on the bonds. So because Silicon Valley Bank went down, that's why interest rates have fallen. It's not because of the bank. Uh, do real estate agents have access to this? No, they do not. Um, what's better? What's better? You said cash out refi or HELOC. Well, it really depends what you're going to do with the money. Honestly, it really depends what you are going to do with it. So I never do anything with my money unless I have a good idea of what I'm going to do with it next. So I can't really. I don't know. It really depends what you're doing and what kind of flexibility and what you're going to do with it. Um, what is the rate at Kleinberg Vaughan? Okay, let's try to look in two different sections. Okay, you're looking for Kleinberg. I've done a lot of work in Kleinberg, but I'm not sure if I can pull it up with the city name. Could you give me the postal code in Kleinberg and the postal code in Vaughan that you want me to look up? Or I can pull up Vaughan as a total, and then I'm not going to waste your time. Um, Yeah, Freddie. Freddie is saying on YouTube there that it depends on the numbers, and that is correct. What is better, cash out refinance or HELOC? Well, what percentage are you going to be paying? Number one, and what is your goal? Like, if you're just going to go get cash out refinance and sit on the cash, that's a dumb idea, right? You have to have a plan for the money. Okay, so somebody is asking me for Vaughan here. So prices peaked in Vaughan at $1.6 million, and this was last year in February. And prices today are at $1,340,000. So that's only down 8%, which is very good. Peak to trough, what we have noticed is that the prices today are generally down 25%. And they have farther to fall, unfortunately. Nufsky, you're going to be reinvesting. Okay, well, again, I guess I'm going to go back to Freddie on YouTube, where he said it depends on the numbers. So it depends what you're going to be investing in. I mean, a lot of refis that we're seeing right now are at like 7%. So if they're 7%, I hope that you're making somewhere 10, 11, 12. I don't know. You got to be making more than inflation. Freddie, yeah, Freddie's saying it's tough to find deals in Vaughan. Well, you could see it right from the prices here, that the prices are a little bit unreasonable in Vaughan. So if you know that prices should be down around 20 to 25%, depending on where you're going, you should be buying in places like that. But here's the thing. If you look in places like Rosedale or Forest Hill, North Forest Hill, or like that, where you have high concentration of people who own their properties cash, then this is a different story completely. Um, Freddie, me rough is very well in tune. Thanks, Freddie. I appreciate it. Yeah, we're speaking the same mind. So make sure that you're going to be buying in a place that actually makes sense, right? We don't want any of these games. Uh, don't be overpaying for properties, especially today. Um, Mr. Invisible and then Waffle. I got a couple for you. Um, All right, so let's pull up, we have Hamilton. I'm gonna look up Hamilton, okay, for you. Let's try to look up Hamilton, and see where Hamilton is today. But guys, I look at this all day, every day. And so for me, I also am looking in the United States, in Tennessee, in Georgia, in New York, Illinois, Kentucky. We're looking in Arizona, Nevada. And so I'm looking in all these towns, all these cities. So there's so many patterns if you take a look at all this stuff. Okay, Hamilton properties are down 19% overall, but it's 19% from where it was last January. So if you measure from peak to trough at 1,062,000 down to 816,000, what is that? That's a loss of around 25%, which would tell me that, Hamilton, you could get some good deals in Hamilton right now because it's down about what we want it to be down. Whereas the example that we were looking at before, when you're looking at Vaughan only being down 8%, not enough for me. Now we're looking at L8E. L8E is the next question. L8 Edward is the 3 digits of the postal code that you would like. L8 Edward. Let's see this. I like doing this because this is live and everyone always thinks that we're cherry picking the numbers all the time. And so this can help you see what I see live. So if you're looking in January, we wouldn't count that. We would be counting February peak to trough numbers, just over a million 62, and now it's selling for 822. So, 1,062,000 down to 822 isn't down enough. You see up here, it's saying 13%. It's not quite enough for what I want to do. So I wouldn't be buying in that zone. Now, again, we can go and take a look at, is this condos? Is it detached properties, semi-detached properties? What is it, right? I'm just giving you a good idea of what's happening in your area. And if you want, if you're thinking of selling your property, contact me. You can go to sellhigher.ca, sellhigher.ca. You sell your home for more money faster, and it's a free consultation. You can talk to my team. All right, so we got some more questions coming in. Daniel Bianchi, how are you? So he's asking for L6K. Let's pull up L6K for you and see what's happening in your zone. So Oakville is among the biggest price rises in the country. Can you believe it, Daniel? Biggest price rises in the country. Okay, so average in the past 2 years, average price was 1.6 million. When you saw this massive spike last fall, that's obviously some very, very, very expensive properties, like in Oakville, would have sold that would have pulled those prices up. And now it's at 1.38. So this is very predictable, jumping from January to now. And that's because if you move over to this window and take a look at what's been happening with the mortgage rates follow the bond rates, and things change quite a bit. But if we're going to look in Oakville in L6K for Daniel, we're going to be doing Markham for you in 1 second. If we want to just take a look at the differences in homes, do you notice that 87 are detached and 61 are condos? I already know that the detached properties, especially in Southeast Oakville, are very expensive. And there you go. Do you see how some property must have sold there for 40 million or something, and it just blew the average prices way up? Now we can change it to median. That might change it a little bit, and it didn't. So that means many properties were selling at that high price point. We're also seeing, like, you should be expecting a 10% bump in prices. So this is why Oakville is really tough in detached properties, because of this asymmetry. There's regular homes and then the castles, Roxy, you're 629. Roxy, you're asking for Markham. Let's pull up Markham for you and see what that's going. Ali, I think I just did Oakville. Hopefully I answered your question on that one. Anything that you want to ask me about real estate, this is what I do all day, every day. So in Markham, this is median home prices. They topped out at 1.5 million last year, currently selling for 1.2. But you can see that it's only 11% down. So if I was going to buy in Markham, I would not be buying in Markham right now. It's just not worth it for me. And so let's continue on. We got L6A and then L9C in Hamilton. Okay, so I'm going to try to keep pounding away through these guys. Hopefully that this helps you. L6A. This is for Freddie, and looking for a semi-detached. So 73 properties have sold. So we should get some good data from that. In the past 2 years, topping out at 1.4 million, currently selling for 1.1. It is down 16%, but peak to trough would be a little bit more. So I really, really, really think that I would not be buying right now. It's still a bit higher, right? So that means if it is less than 25%, which is what the case is right here, this means that it's an opportunity to sell it to get more. Do you know what I mean? Um, Question that we have is, do I anticipate more drops coming in the interest rates? I do anticipate more drops. There's going to be a lot of problems in the banking sector, particularly in the commercial real estate market. The commercial real estate is hemorrhaging money right now. So as that is going to continue to fall, we expect prices to drop through the year. Remember, though, there's the falling prices because the economy is doing bad, and then they're going to be lowering rates to try to raise the prices. So you have to wonder which force is going to be greater. And generally, in a situation like this, the forces down is greater. I have a question for Pickering. So let's check out Pickering as well. It is an unstable market. Right now is a time that you would like to be selling. It's not a real good time for you to be buying, I don't think, right now in the markets that we're talking about so far today. Pickering, I got a lot of different cities here. Okay, here we go. 1,107 for this is for Zach. So prices topped out at 1.2 million last year, and currently they're sitting at $980,000. So this is great. You know, property prices have gone up 100 grand this year. So that is great. And this is what I mean. Because those banks collapsed, it is now giving all of this money from 850,000 all the way up to 980. It's giving all this extra cash to anybody that is trying to sell. Amazing. Amazing. I'm happy for you guys if you're thinking of selling there. Thoughts on Niagara Falls? So yeah, I had an entire thing here for Niagara Falls, you guys, Niagara region. So let me pull up the Niagara region for you because I guess the question is what should we be doing with Niagara region? So as you can see, the bottom line is Windsor, Niagara is in the center in the blue, and Vancouver Island is in the other island. So notice the Vancouver Island, it's retirement central, right? Why? You tell me, why would Niagara Falls increase at the same pace as Vancouver Island and then exceed it? So you guys know I always say that the prices, percentage wise, all right, the bigger the rise, the bigger the fall. And so look at the prices in Niagara Falls at 820. Currently, they're sitting at 641. So you have to be seeing a pattern in these lines going up and down as these interest rates are just pulling these rates down. So this is very, very, very common. This is very, very common. Zach, yeah, unfortunately, this is a private website, so I can't. This is not available to the public. Do I see Bitcoin going down? I'm still waiting to get some. Oh yeah, Bitcoin's going to come way, way, way down when we're in the next financial crunch. We're also looking. So Freddie's looking for a certain type of property. Let's look up for Freddie in L4 Bravo. Let's take a look for that one. L4B. And he wants to know specifically for condos. So we can do that, and it'll give you a really good idea of what's happening. So in that zone, 166 condos have sold. As you see, the prices peaked out at 775. Currently, they're selling for 650,000. And so look at the prices, only down 15%. So what does that rule tell you? That the larger the property is, the more it drops, meaning a $3 million property could drop 50%. But a property that's an entry-level bread and butter $650,000 unit, it does not go down as much. So this is what you should be expecting for a smaller unit, especially in the L's. But good. This is good for us to be going through some of this. London is where we're getting asked next. So let's take a look at what London is looking like. Let's pull up London. So, I mean, look at all these lines. You're going to say, well, David, they all look the same. They're all almost identical. Yep. So London is this green one that I just highlighted. But you can see that all the lines are very, very close together. So as they were about to turn on that money printer, okay, back in the spring, so you could see that they all started here when that money printing, after here, you'd say, oh, home prices go up, but then it just went stupid. So home prices, just when they started their money printers up in Windsor, in London, where was it sitting? 400 grand, and it went all the way to 800 grand. Absolutely bananas, unsustainable. And so home prices have tanked a lot down to 586 in London. That is the average price for a property, but we have to be expecting that. But you can see some curls happening right at the end as home prices are starting to go up again. That is all because of the bond rates, and the mortgage rates have been falling because of Silicon Valley Bank collapse that has happened this year. Roxy's asking, why are prices trending up? Hopefully I answered that. It's if we look at anything that is the mortgage rates, mortgage year rates. I guess I'd have to find on, and this is a pain in the butt to do this. I don't know where to be looking for a chart, to be honest with you, right off the top of my head. But Roxy, where it is remember that when bond rates come out, bond rates follow mortgage rates. And so this is the amount of commission that a bank wants to make on top of the national rate. And so what you want is to be up here when the prices of homes are low. This means mortgage rates would be high. This is when you want to be what? Buying a home when prices are low. But when it's way down low, that's when you want to be selling your property. That's when you want to sell. All right. Bank of Canada rate is 4.5%. Yes, and it's been paused for twice in the United States. They raised it. They're going to be raising it again this week, which is going to really hurt the Canada, because every time the US raises their rates and the United and Canada, when the US raises the rate and Canada does not, their dollar becomes a lot stronger. So for everything that we import from around the world, prices go way, way up. Yep, Freddie. So 2 points on top of that is what they would normally like. So 4.5% for the Bank of Canada rate. Then generally they want 2% above that. But because all these other banks across the United States is collapsing, they're willing to take 1% on top of the Bank of Canada rate. And because they're doing that now, that punches prices up 10%. I know that it is a tough balancing act, but is it? The government should only spend what they can take in taxes. How about that? I mean, you and I personally do that. You and I as a family have to do that. So it's crazy that all these people don't do that. East Gwimblery, Sarah. Let me check here. That's a very good question. So I did sell one there 2 years ago. Let me just see if I can find it here. That's a very, very good question. I don't think I have enough data on East Gwimblery. I do. Nice. 417 properties. Nice, nice, nice. All right, great. Well, that was a very fun for me. You made my day. East Gwimblery. Median prices, $1.7 million last year. And look at where prices are now, 1.4. So this is all thanks to a couple properties that would have sold that were very, very, very high. 1.1 million. This would have been when? In February. We would have seen the bump in January. So I would have expected the prices down here that are very, very low to be an oddball. There's going to be some weird properties that sold there. So that's what I would be expecting. Freddie, you're allowed to pay 15, 20% of, I'm guessing, your mortgage for a lump sum. Well, it really, really depends. Every single mortgage has fine print with it. And so that really, really, really depends on the individual bank. When is the next financial crunch, Jessica? Well, you guys see the bank is going to be the what is it? First Republic is collapsing this weekend. So what is the contagion from that? I'm not sure. It could be really bad. So it could happen anytime, but I think it's got to happen between like Q3 this year and moving on maybe another couple quarters. So I can't tell you the exact day, but what I can be very sure about is the season. Top Gun L5 Victor is what he wants to look up. Let's take a look at L5 Victor and see what we can find for him. So these are Toronto homes. Again, you guys, thank you very much for coming by. If you want to sell your properties, this is what we specialize in. Go here, sellhigher.ca. This is where you sell your homes for more money, faster and less hassle. You can choose your own commission. It's a free consultation, doesn't cost you anything. L5 Victor is where you're looking. Hey, Freddie, yeah, you said you enjoyed the show. Thank you very much, man. Thank you for all the support. I appreciate it. All right, so at L5 Victory, prices topped out at 1.5 million. Currently, they're sitting at a million. Ay. So you measure that. What is that? 1.5 down to a million, guys. That's a lot. That's over 30. So, you know, in a property crunch like that, L5V is right where it's supposed to be, and it should be dropping another 10, 15%. So this is for L5V as a total, but they're asking specifically, what about just a townhome? So there's been 24 townhomes that have sold in the past year. Let's take a look at where townhomes are. So in the past 2 years, prices have gone from 1.5 to 1.1. Down 16%, but that 16%, you guys, is because it's measuring from the beginning. So it'd have to be higher. It's probably sitting in the 20, 1, 2, I don't know, something like that percent. And that's a big change in prices. But again, townhomes are not going to suffer as much as a detached property ever. TIFF might raise. Willie, I don't know. He's being a little bit of a chicken. He should have kept up pace with the United States. The price of a condo and GTA 2-bedroom, 900 square foot, it's 1 million now. Yep, you're right. For sure. I mean, downtown, 1-bedrooms are $1 million. What is that worth it? And the delivery is 2027. Oh my God, no. 900 square feet and for $1 million, and you want to take it in 2027? I would never take that risk. Never. Tottenham. Boy, you guys are giving me some obscure places today. Ay. Okay, let's give it a shot. Let me see what I got here, you guys. You're working me. I don't know if I have it, man. Honestly, I'm not really sure. I don't. I'm sorry. I don't have enough for Tottenham. What's the population? Population. Oh boy. Is that right? 9,000? 9,000 people? So in Tottenham, if you were in a that type of a town, you're not going to be experiencing a 30% drop ever. So if you notice, did you see all these cities were very similar in different places? If you take a very, very like quiet zone, uh, uh, where would we find a very small town? I can you pick me a small one? I don't care. Maybe even Quebec. Let's take a look at Quebec, for example. Do you see the prices in Quebec here? How they're very, very, very slow and steady down below? Very, very slow and steady. They are not going to be part of the Windsor, London, Vancouver, Toronto with this manic depressive up and down. I mean, this is where you could have made money, but it's also where you lose a lot of money, right? So it's a little bit of both. All right, so let's jump over. We got a couple questions coming in on YouTube as well. Let's take a look. L4J, and then we got J Dub. Let's take a look. Whoops. Let's do this again. Thank you guys for all the questions. You're giving me a lot of good questions today. L2H. Woo! I don't have enough. What's happening, you guys? There is not enough properties in here. We have over a couple million. I don't have enough in L2H. I apologize. I don't know why. Hmm. I'm surprised. East York, Roxy, how are you? Can you give me a postal code? It'd be a little bit better, I think, for me to be able to find that one for you. Kitchener, AK. Yeah, I could do that. I can do that for sure. So let's pull up Kitchener. This is for AK, who's asking how Kitchener is doing. I got two locations for Kitchener, so just bear with me. I'm going to try to pull them both up for you and see what we can pull up. Um, try and see if, boy, we got a lot going on here. I don't have enough here. Let's pull up this one then for you. Kitchener. I have Kitchener and Waterloo. I hope that you don't mind if I put both of them in. So Kitchener, Waterloo, as you can see, when they started the money printing started in 2020 in the beginning. $526,000 was the average price. It peaked out last year at 957, almost a million. Can you believe that? From 526 up to a million, which should show you that money printing does not work. And then it's crashed all the way down today. It's sitting at 739,000 for the average price of a property. That's what we're looking for. Roxy, you're also looking for M4C. Let's take a look for you. I don't have enough. Something is going on with me, man. Let me try this again. I don't know what's going on with my it's not giving me what I want. Let me try M4C. This is for Roxy. All right, so this is for Roxy. If you're looking at M4C in the past 12 months, prices have went from 1.2 million all the way to a million, down 12%, but that's the past year. We always have to look at the past 2 years to see how bad it is actually. So overall, look at that. It's recovered its prices. So 1.2 million down to a million, down 20% or so. But this is very, very, because interest rates fell. So this is why that's happening. M2J, I'm really sorry. I tried to pull that up, and unfortunately, we couldn't get that one. M2J. Well, there you go. I got M2J, J-Dub. All right, so prices from 2 years ago. Look at this. It was at 740, $750,000. And where are we sitting right now? It's at 730 grand. So, I mean, overall, the prices haven't changed at all, really. Of course, it's sawtooth back and forth, but it's pretty even, which is fantastic. That's great. Jasic over on Jasic, how are you? Jessica is asking for L1P, like Papa. Let's pull his up. L1P. I like doing this because you guys could see that, sometimes people think that, oh, you're cherry picking your data or something. And I'm like, I don't do that. And so prices were 1.5 million last year, and currently they're sitting at a million. So what does that tell you? That tells you that prices are down 30% in all. 1.5 million all the way to $1 million today. So that is a big, big drop, but it's not really surprising. In the L's, this is actually quite common. They're more expensive properties. Kawartha Lakes, I'm not sure if I have Kawartha available for you, my friend. I do. Nice. Okay, so this is for Rob Griff. I'm going to do Kawartha Lakes. So Kawartha Lakes, look at what happened when they started printing money. The average price was 411,000. Then what happened? Prices went to 825. They doubled in price as they print money. Insane, insane, insane. And look at where it is today. Crashed way down 673. So prices go up and down. JW, you're very welcome. All the best. Thank you very much for coming by. Thank you for liking, and please subscribe as well. You guys, please hit your hearts. Please follow us. We really appreciate the support. Again, if you're trying to sell your property, you can always go to sellhigher.ca, and we can help you out. You're very welcome for your update. You're very welcome, sir. Or ma'am, or whatever it is. All right. So new Tecumseh. This is for Sam. You guys are giving me every last small town and that I don't usually get people asking me about. So this is interesting tonight. Wasn't expecting that. I do have 607 homes sold there. Well, that's good. This is for Sam I am. Average prices were 1.1 million. Currently sitting at 812,000. Drop of 30% peak to trough, which is exactly what we would have expected. We would have expected properties to be down around 30%. We're expecting to go down another 10% this year as well. The population is not 9K. Oh, maybe I was wrong. This site's a private site. Unfortunately, we can't, the public is not available to get it. If you're looking for Niagara Falls, the Niagara region, Roxy, thank you very much for liking it. I appreciate it. Do you notice here I have two towns, two of them, identical towns, okay? This is Niagara Falls and Kawartha Lakes, both affected by the Toronto market. Can you see the two lines, how closely they follow each other? It's almost identical. So they're the same prices, Kawartha Lakes and Niagara Falls. So when they started printing that money, 400 grand, both of them peaked over 800,000. And today, where is it sitting? If we just highlight just Niagara region, sitting at 641. Remember, the higher the price, the larger they are, the larger they fall. So if we're talking about Lua wants to look at L6H. Guys, we can look at more of these, but if you have any real estate questions, like more particular questions, you can ask them as well. I can see if I can help you with something. I'm a real estate broker myself. We have a team that works in Ontario, particularly Southern Ontario. In L6H, as you can see right here at L6H, prices were 1.4 million. Currently, they're sitting at 1.2, way less than the rest of the market. It is only down 13%. We would be expecting a property around here to be around 30% down. So it's being very resilient. Hey, Tony, how are you? L6W is what Tony's asking for. Let me know if you have any other questions, you guys. I don't mind doing this, but if you have deeper questions, I'm happy to help you with it. L6H, 1.197, 1.2. So right now, property prices are being very resilient here as well, only down 13%, which is much higher than we would have expected. Sebastian, how can I fire my sales rep? Signed a year exclusive with him while I have renters, but he hasn't done anything in 8 months. Oh boy, that's really bad. So, Sebastian, if you have a real estate agent who's not doing a good job, I would just send him a direct email and ask him to release you from the exclusivity on that deal. If he does not, write an email to the broker of record at whatever brokerage you're at and ask them, can you please release me, and put it in writing for them to release you from your exclusivity. That's bad. There's a lot of people who give real estate agents a really bad name. Guys, look him up for a purchase or sale. Great and knowledgeable, above your typical sales agency. Hey, Freddie, thank you so much. Do you guys see that? Man, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Let me read that again. Guys, look him up for purchase and sale. Great and knowledgeable, above your typical sales agency. I really appreciate that. You made my whole night, Freddie. Thank you so much. Yeah, and if you want me, just go to sellhigher.ca. This is where you sell your homes for more money and faster. All right, you guys. So L6P is the next one that we're being asked about. L6P, and then we're going to look at Sebastian's. But I did like the fact that Sebastian, you're asking me a question without just looking at a regular property, but that's good too. All right, so fire away anything you could think of. I'm willing to help you. All right. So if you're looking L6P peak price at 1.8 million, right now it's selling for 1.1 million. We're looking at a drop in price of 36%. Woo! That's a big hit. 36%. And so this is the territory. If you felt that rates were going to continue to be paused and maybe drop later in this year, like a lot of people do, this is a good time to be buying it when you see a 36% drop in an area. That's a good time because this is very common in most of the L areas around Toronto or around Greater Vancouver as well. They're seeing similar drops like this, especially in the detached field. Sebastian is looking for L7G, like Gulf L7G. Let's pull this up, L7G. And if you have anything else, just let me know. L7G. Okay. Well, again, this is very, very similar in L7G. Look at this. Prices topped out at 1.37, and currently it's sitting at $1 million. So, I mean, we don't have to be like rocket science to figure that number out, right? It's down 37% or something like that from peak to trough. 1.4 down to $1 million. I mean, that's a lot. So again, if you're looking at a number like that, I mean, it depends what your conviction is, which way it's going to be, that this is down enough that you could consider purchasing, but it depends if you're going to be buying for long term, for rental. What are you going to be doing? What if you already own a property? Roxy is asking, what if you already own a property, a semi, but looking to upgrade to a detached? What would you recommend? Location, flexible. Thank you. Okay, Roxy, this is a great, fantastic question. I get this almost every single day. So I would not move. Okay, I wouldn't move. So here's the thing. I got to give you a tip. The larger it is in price, the larger it falls. What do I mean by that? So if you take a detached property, let's say it's a luxury detached property, it could lose 50%. As you're seeing a lot with these detached properties that are here, you're seeing down 30%. If you look at a semi-detached property, now you're only going to be down 20%. And if you look at a lot of condo townhouses, they're only down 15% or something like that. And condos are down the same. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. Freddie, me and you were speaking the same language. So the bigger they are, the harder they fall. So what I would be doing is stacking cash and waiting for your opportune moment when you see detached properties down 40% and your semi-detached is only down 20, perfect time for you to sell and get into the bigger one. You know what I mean? That's when you can make a very smart upgrade. Freddie, man, higher the price, more effective on price. Yeah, exactly. This is how it goes. All right. EI is asking a question, but thank you guys for the questions, man. Roxy, you're saying you get it, but the house is getting cluttered. It'll be worth it. I mean, just think if you can do an arbitrage where you're going to be saving 20% of a value of a property, over $1 million, that's like $200,000. If you can time it right, and you don't have to be on there on the right day, week, month, you're going to have a 6 month, a year window in order to do that, to do that time zone. And so you'll save yourself 200 grand. Ask yourself, how long does it take you to save 200 grand? You know what I mean? So it's going to be worth it. Got to respect the honesty, he says. Yeah. One thing, I've actually gotten a lot of flack in my career because people are always telling me, well, David, you shouldn't have told me that, or you should told me that. I'm like, the law says I have to be honest all the time. It doesn't say that I can pick and choose what pieces of information to give to you. And so I would always 100% of the time rather give you more information than not enough, because giving you more information, I'm never going to be in trouble with the law. If I decide to pick and choose what to tell you, my God, I would lose my license within a week. The law says that you have to be honest. And unfortunately, the majority of people in this field do not operate that way. Roxy, you said, yeah, that's enough for me to work with him. I appreciate it, Roxy. Thank you very much. Um, the, Anybody that works with any agent, please hold them to a very, very high standard of honesty and making sure they're not sugarcoating it. What do you think prices will go up? I don't think they're going to be going up this year. I don't. So let's check out L4H. This is the next question for a 3-bedroom is what he's specifically looking for. So this is going to pull condos and towns, or all properties that have 3 bedrooms. But if we're going to look at the prices in the past 2 years, it's only down 11%, 1.5 down to 1.25. Amazing. So when you look at this and you see L4 in only down 11% and still in a healthy bracket, what does this tell you? This tells you it is not the time to buy in this area. Not at all. But it does tell you it's the time to sell a property like this, right? Because prices are abnormally high. Freddie, you said you're looking for something this year or next year, which is good. There will be, I don't think there's just going to be a leveling off. I think there's going to be a decline in home prices, and it's going to come on with a systemic problem in commercial real estate. You guys, please go to my YouTube channel and check out the video that I did on commercial real estate. It's a ticking time bomb. It is really, really, really bad. Do you think in the next 3 years prices will be higher or lower? Oh, they're going to be going higher because they're going to be turning on the money printers like crazy. So if they turn on the money printers, this is what you saw. So like, guys, remember we were looking at this. Let's just pull up different cities: Calgary, Edmonton, Toronto, Vancouver. We're just pulling up different Mississauga, Oakville. I'm just picking them all up, okay? It doesn't really matter. You should be able to see a pattern with them. Once they started money printing in 2020, all of them started taking off, up, up, up. So what you want to do right here is you got to know that the interest rates are pulling it down. So the number one thing you got to be looking for is what is interest rates going to be doing. The pandemic has killed the commercial real estate market. Yeah, really, really bad. Please don't want to go back to work. Vacancies everywhere. Yeah, people don't want to go back. They want to work from home. Yes, absolutely. Saves them on gas. They don't have to dress up. I guess they could wear stretchy pants all day. Don't you foresee a double top even with housing market? Another pop up before the big coming down? No, I do not. Check this out. Psychology of money, something like that. Let's look up this. There is a graph that is the psychology of a market cycle. Oh, that's not it. Psychology of a market cycle. That's a good book, by the way. Oh, there you go. So go to this, okay? It's made by Wall Street. Here. Can you see that? Wall Street cheat sheet. Okay, so this is every single stock market, every single real estate market that has ever existed ever. So there's always a time of disbelief that when you're bad, and what? Optimism, thrill, euphoria, up, up, up. Okay. And so if you look at these real estate prices that were going bananas, going up, 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 this is thrill. That is euphoria. But now you're seeing a leveling off. It doesn't matter what city that you're looking at, you're seeing a massive leveling off, right? So if you're seeing a leveling off, you have to be able to look at this and see after the euphoria is a time right here of complacency. And they call this a channel effect. So once you have this complacency, it always happens before there's a massive drop. Now, where are we in this market? Now, everyone has to make up their own mind. I think we're in this complacency phase. Everyone can say what they want, where they think. Here, we're just looking up this property, L4H in 3 bedrooms. So this isn't any monster homes. And the average price is $1.2 million. Think of how much interest that is. That's over $70,000 of interest per year, but that's higher than the average wage. So what? People not going to have any car, any gas? They're not going to put their kid in school. They're not going to eat any food, of course, right? Because they have nothing left. They can only pay the interest on their loan. That's the problem. It can't continue. It can't continue like that. There has to be some big changes. Top Gun. But in the last 2 months, we've seen prices are up. Yeah. So the reason prices are up, like I was showing people, is the mortgage rates are tied to the bond rates. And so just go look at whatever bond rates you want in Canada or the United States, and you're going to see that the bond rates have fallen. And because the bond rates fell from 3.5 all the way down to 2.5, that bumps home prices up 10% because mortgage rates came down. So mortgage rates are way, way down. So if mortgage rates are down, people can afford more on their property. That's why it's been up. What will happen in the Edmonton market? Edmonton's a really fun place, actually. So if we just reduce, let me just pull up Calgary and Edmonton, and let's just leave like Toronto, which is a very, very, what would we say Toronto is? Bipolar? I think Toronto is bipolar. Big swings in prices. If you look at Toronto, you'll see big ups, big downs, huge up, huge down. But look at Edmonton and Calgary. Edmonton and Calgary are very subdued. They're always the same distance apart. They always track each other. Calgary is doing a little bit better right now. Average home at 528. Edmonton is sitting at 371. They just keep chugging along because land is almost free in Edmonton. So the majority of the price is just labor and just material. I know a lot invested in Calgary, very unstable in my opinion. Well, this is what you see. This in Toronto, we're used to prices going up and up forever, right? But that doesn't always continue. You also have these massive drops that will bankrupt a lot of people, whereas not a lot of people go bankrupt when the market just trades sideways forever. Top Gun is saying a very good question. So don't you think that prices will go up more if the bond rate remains the same? So here's the rule. There's a good question. Very good question. Let's pull it up. Oh, that's American. This is Canadian. The rule is 1% change changes your home price by 10%. So let's do an example. Compare mortgage interest rates. Okay. Let's try something. Because he said, don't you think that it will change? So the average price we saw was let's just do a million. Okay, just to be very, very even. Okay, 1 million right there. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And interest rate was 6 and now it's 5. So he's saying because of interest rates, they fell by 1%. So don't I think they're going to keep going up? The answer is no. It reacts instantaneously. A buyer is instantly told that he could buy more. So last year on $1 million home, prices were $6,400. Okay. So now say that he could afford last year and now he's trying to buy for the same price. So we got to get this up to 600, there's like the same price. There you go. 1 million loan last year at 6% would give you a $6,400 payment. This year, 1,100,000 at 5%, $6,400. There you go. 1% changes your mortgage rate by 1%. By 10. So if we already did see the rate fall by 1%, when you see that, it reacts instantaneously, and there's your extra 100 grand, your extra 10%. And that's it. So it doesn't continue. It's really, really quick. Cool, right? It's just math, you guys. Investing is just understanding money and math. Boring stuff, right? Anyway, guys. Remember, when home prices have to come down, they come down very slowly. People have this lag effect. They're not very good at understanding that. They're very, very bad at understanding how much it will be dropping. So they're like, well, I'm going to wait a little longer. I'm going to wait a little longer and see if things are going to improve. But buyers are different cats. buyers react instantly. So the same guy last year that had a 6% mortgage, and let's just say the banker said, "You're approved right now because the rate's 6%. You're approved for $1 million house. Congratulations." So the guy now gets a phone call from his mortgage broker because he hasn't bought yet because he's disappointed. He can't get what he wants. And then the mortgage broker, as soon as the mortgage rates drop down to 5, he calls him, "Good news, buddy. We can get a 1.1 million. Now you can get your garage." And the guy's like, "Yes, I'll buy it." Notice how long it took. The guy got, within a day of them changing the rates, he got an extra 100,000 to spend. Sellers don't react right away. They take up to 18 months to lower their prices on their homes. So you really, really, really have to dig into this. Okay. But this is the exact same thing that happens every single year, every single time the mortgage rate changes in every single country. There is no difference anywhere. I always tell people math doesn't care about passports. Math is always the same. All right, you guys. Well, this has been really, really fun, I think. I hope that you guys learned some stuff. Also, guys, if you want, you can also go to the link in my bio, and go to YouTube and check out my total rental income property calculator, because on that I actually show people how to make a lot of money with real estate. I want you to be able to do very, very, very well, and it's very, very possible, to be honest with you. This is what I'm going to show you then, you guys, how to do this. Uh, let's see if I could pull this. Oh no, that's not the right one. I got too many screens here for you guys. Sorry about that. This is what I'm going to share with you. Can you guys see that one? Yeah. Okay, so if you take a look at this, this is what we gotta know how to work it um, in the market today, because this is where you're going to learn to make a lot of money. So you got to look at about 100 properties a day to be able to figure out if you can afford to buy it and if you can make money off of it. So, well, this is an example we had been doing before, but there's a property I was looking at today for $500,000, and it rents for 4,500 bucks. So on that same property, 500,000, look at this, just fill in the yellow cells. 500,000, $4,500 in rent. The taxes on that property are $4,000 per year. Insurance per month was 190. I have to pay on that building. I had lawn and snow for $2,000 per year, but I have no condo fees. I'm very, very, very lazy. So I want to make sure that property management is taken care of. I'm going to pay another company to do that. I want to make sure I have money set aside in case it's vacant and there's nobody there. I want to be able to cover it. I want to make sure that I have money put aside every month for repairs. And actually, the rate that I could get was 5.4% on that property. So take a look here. I have to put down $100,000, 100,000, and it's now going to pay me $1.5 million within 20 years. 100,000 down, $1.5 million. Now, every single month, I'm going to be taking $360 and putting it aside. It doesn't count in that total 1.5 million, just in case someone's not there. I have a month unrented, or another $360 every single month in case there's a repair that has to be done. I have to make sure money is there. So what this does is it actually has a lot of calculators in here, but you don't need to look at it. This is what I need you to be laser focused on right here. 28% per year is what I'll make on that property. 28%. That's incredible, right? So that's why I want you guys to be able to figure out how much. Oops, hang on a second, you guys. Look at this. I put $2,000 per year. It says actually per month. Per month, that's what, 1,800? Is that $180 per month? Yeah, there you go. So now look at what we did. Now we're at 50% profit. That's amazing, right? So what this has is it has a 20-year principal pay down calculator. And it has also all your depreciation and capital cost allowances all put in here. It also has a rent growth calculator for 20 years. Also has your yearly appreciation for 20 years. And then it starts assimilating all the math underneath. But look at how boring this is. In my first year, I'm going to make 50 grand. In the second year, I'll make 57,000. In the third year, I'll make 60,000. And so people don't get as excited about that. But look at year 11, I'm making 95,000, 100,000, 106,000 in a year. So I'm telling you, if you can make 50% per year, you're golden. You don't have to work anymore. It's game over. Everybody is finished. So this is what I want for you guys. Freddie, if you want that, this is what I would do if I were you guys. Just go to this. I'm going to show you. Go to my YouTube channel. Oops, guys, I'm losing my mind here. How do I move this over? Oh, there we go. Go to my YouTube channel. Let's just see if you guys can see this. I have so many windows open, you guys. I'm sorry. Let's see if I can share this with you. So if you just go to my YouTube channel, it's Rough Team Realty, RUFF, Rough Team Realty. If you go to Rough Team Realty, you could be able to actually find my total calculator. Just write in total calculator there. Here it is. So go to total rental income property. And what I do is I actually go through this entire, ooh, what the heck happened there? I go through the entire calculator and show you how to use every single part of it. Every single part. And so if you like it, just go to Rough Team Realty, look up total rental income property calculator. Check that out. If you like it, I mean, then you can obviously go to the link underneath it, and it's available there for you if that's what you would like. But it is really, really handy to pump out. I can look at over 100 properties like in no time. When will the mortgage rates be lower in Canada? Probably by the end of the year. So Top Gun, if you like this and you're on TikTok, you can obviously go to the link in my bio if you want. I have it there. But what I would suggest for you is just go to my YouTube channel and take a look at it on YouTube just to see if you like it. And I explain exactly how to use it and how it can be beneficial to you. I mean, we sell it for 30 bucks, I think it is, or something like that. It's really, really cheap. It took us so many hundreds of hours to build it, but I built this for myself. This is what I use to look for properties and how I buy properties. So you guys, just all you have to do is fill in yellow squares. And this took a job that used to take me 4 or 5 hours to figure out, and now I can do it under 30 seconds. So we have another property of ours. Check this out: $400,000 that we paid for it, and it rents for 4,200 bucks a month. My taxes on that property are under 2,700. This is the good part. Insurance on all 4 properties, all 4. So that entire unit is sitting at like 200 bucks. I have no land and snow whatsoever on that property. And I locked all my rates in at 2%. And check out what my profit is: 65% per year. So my point is if you can make 65% per year, guys, you don't have to work anymore. Use the power of money. So you're telling me, David, you only put down $80,000, 80,000, and you're going to make $1.8 million. I actually am telling you, no, that's not correct, because I reinvest the profits. I don't take money out. So if I reinvest the profits, I can get 50% more than that. So if you're telling me, David, I put in 80,000 and I'm going to now make 2.5 million. Yes, that is correct. But that takes 20 years, right? But maybe you can retire off $1 million, 50% more than this if you reinvest your money. So you could retire. Could you retire off $1 million bucks? Well, you only need 10 years, and all you need to start off is 80,000 bucks to do so. Pretty cool, right, guys? So, I mean, this has a lot of it. This has a lot of that information in here, you guys. Yeah, this is including Do I have a special offer? No, I'm sorry. I wish I did. I think we sell for $30. It's really cheap. America and Canada. You hate your phone. I guess you're on the phone right now, eh? All right, you guys. Well, I'm gonna get going. My poor wife, we're doing spring cleaning today a little bit, getting ready for the summer. We're usually crazy busy all summer, and so we'll start do that. Do I reinvest my profits, Freddie? 100%. I never take a penny ever. Uh, no, only start taking money out when you retire. So, that $52,000 that I'm making in 1 year, 100% reinvestment. Keep on growing. That's the only way to go. All right, you guys, I'm going to get running, but as always, thank you guys very much for following me, for coming by. We really, 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 really appreciate all your support. Please like and follow and subscribe to us on the channel. We're going to continue to be there to help you. Please send me an email at contact@Rough Team Realty if there's anything we could do. You can also go to sellhigher.ca. This is where you can sell your property for more money. If you want to reach one of our affiliates, for the guys that we work with at our teams, you can go to Rough Team Realty if you're looking to buy a property. We also have a podcast that's Rough Team Realty that we do. It's the science of real estate. We also have our gold and silver course, our home buying courses there, and the rental calculator, which you can get. So there's a bunch of products, and we've got a lot more coming. So I wish you guys the very, very best. Hope you have a fantastic evening. I'll talk to you soon. Night, everyone.